final evaluator for this evening is Jessica Guthrie. Jessica joined Toastmasters in August of 2001 and was the founding president of the Central Florida Facilitators Toastmasters Club. She is currently serving as the VP of Public Relations for the Central Florida Facilitators Club. She firmly believes that her decision to join Toastmasters has been the best professional move she has ever made. Her favorite part of Toastmasters is the feedback that is provided through evaluations. Please help us welcome Jessica Guthrie.
Joy, sadness, curiosity, surprise, anger, jealousy. He took us on an emotional journey today, and that showed us how to use those emotions to be able to connect. Madam General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, welcome guests, and especially Stephen. How you connected with us today was through some very effective tools and ways that you pulled this together. First of all, when you started your speech, you lost your speech. You couldn't find where it was. You had a mic. Where was it? Very effective, especially because none of us believed you for a second because that would be so out of character for you. However, it was perfect for Toastmasters in that that's something we could all relate to, and bringing your point to life right away about that emotional connection. And you were able to instantly connect with us. And because you have an authority about you, it instantly makes us believe in what you're talking about. And so that helped with that creating that connection as well. Your gestures throughout your speech were perfect. I love when you're talking about an instant connection and you use snaps to kind of describe that. Or whenever you were talking about the audience, you use a grand sweeping gesture to show the full audience. So your gestures were very appropriate for what you're speaking about. And most of all, what I loved about your speech was you had great advice. And you walked through all of those different examples, and it was a very well-crafted speech. There was a logical flow to it, and I learned a lot just from listening to your discussion about how emotions are the best way to create that connection with an audience. Now, a few areas that maybe it didn't connect as well, and so I wanted to give you some advice on these, is one of the tenets, and it really speaks to what you were talking about, is in Toastmasters is to tell a story and make a point. Tell a story and make a point, because it creates that emotional connection and then you drive that point home. And your biggest story was actually in your introduction. You were talking about your passion and the neuralistic programming, etc. That was actually in your introduction, and then you had an example of when you dropped the mic, but there weren't any other stories throughout your speech, which I thought was kind of interesting because we were talking about how stories are a great way to create that emotion. So maybe show us a time when it worked as an instant connection, or another example when you had tell a story and it didn't work as a connection. That might be a way to bring more into that and help us relate to that. And then lastly, I just wanted to say I didn't love your title. Sorry, maybe that's just me, and it is just my point of view as an evaluator. The me and you. I get what you were saying, absolutely. I don't know if it was just even a verb would have helped, finding me and you or revealing you and me. But just even having that me and you, maybe something more around connections or take me on an emotional journey, I think that might have spoken to me and helped me understand where you were going from there. It took a lot of time to build up the me and you, and so for me, I just didn't get it as well. So perhaps take those ideas, build those into your speech. The content of it was terrific, and I really connected with you during that speech. Madam General Evaluator.